Alright, now if you're watching this on YouTube here in a little while, I'll ask you to go over to my website where you can join as a Gold Pick member and get all of my tabs and videos. I put a video like this up each and every week. I have well over, 150 tabs now on the site. By the time you're watching this, it could be 1,000. Who knows? So go check that out. I'd be honored to have you on board as a Gold Pick member. You'll want to go over and print out the PDF of the tab for this lesson, and then we're going to walk you through each one of these 6 transitions very slowly, and then we'll have another video segment where I slow it way down all the way through, so we kind of turn it into an exercise where you just play continually through all 6 of these. And then what will happen is as you're playing your rhythm, or you're singing, or whatever you're doing, going from the G to C chord, or C to D chord, these will become so natural that you'll just naturally start to pick them up. And it'll really, really fortify your rhythm playing. Good stuff. Let's dive into that first transition from C to D. Okay, guys, our goal is to find some cool ways to get from the C chord to the D chord. And there's lots of different ways we can do that, but today I've come up with 6 different variations of how we can get there and perhaps make our rhythm playing a little bit more interesting. Let's look at the first way that we're going to do that. It's probably the simplest variation that I have. Just starts there in measure 1, and I've set this tab up to where you can kind of play through it, play through all different 6 variations just as a normal song, just doing 2 bars of C, then 2 bars of D, then back again, 2 bars of C to 2 bars of D. And each time you travel from C to D, we're going to use a little different variation. So this is just a great exercise. If nothing else, just practice going from our C chord to our D chord. After you do it enough, you'll find that as you're singing or you're playing along, you will just, out of your memory, be able to go and grab all these different ways to go from C to D. So that's what our goal is today. Let's look there at measure 1. Just look at our first line there. We're going to start out with the C chord, as I mentioned. This is that intermediate rhythm pattern that we've covered on my website in the intermediate rhythm guitar series. So it's a bass, down, up, bass, up, down, up. Okay, that's what this is based around. Now when you're playing this C chord, I will typically cover the bass notes with my ring finger. The 3rd fret, then moving down to the 3rd fret. You're more than welcome to use your 2 fingers up here, like I know a lot of people do, which I do that a lot of times too. But on some of these transitions, we're going to need our rhythm, or our ring finger right there on the 3rd fret to start these little transition licks. So you'll see how that can come into play. But measure 1 just sounds like this. Moving on into measure 2. And we have our transition here, and this one's a really simple one. As I mentioned, we're just going to keep our C position with our left hand, and we're going to lift our middle finger, play that open D string, and hammer on, as you see there in measure 2, and then play another downstroke on the G string. And that's just a really nice, simple transition that sounds great when you're going fast. It just really sets the ear up really nicely to go into measure 3, which is our D chord. Okay. So try that with me really quick. Start in measure 1. 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, hammer on. Good job. Now, if you're watching this on the website, I'll have a complete video segment that's nothing but me slowing all of these down very slowly, playing them back to back, so you can get plenty of practice there. But let's move on to number 2 and check out what that one looks like. This one's a little bit more difficult, but it gives more of a chromatic climbing feel. It sounds like this up to speed, measure 5. so we're going to play our measure 5 is the exact same as measure 1. I'm just playing this C chord. And there in measure 6, we're going to, on the 3rd beat, we're going to release everything, come down to our A string, and we're going to play open A, 2nd fret, and then hammer on from 3rd to 4th. And then end to measure 7 on the D chord. So it sounds like this slowly. Okay, so that's a really good one. It sounds cool going fast. Yeah, that's a great one. Now, when we look at number 3, it's very similar to what we have in measure for number 2. So at this time, we're going to start out on our ring finger. Let's take a look at that.